start. I'm gonna start streaming. Yeah, I'm gonna start streaming. Let me.
I should probably do one tonight too. I'm still in my pajamas and everything, looking like a dirty animal. But yeah, I should probably get one on the books here too, because my Friday night one ain't unblocked yet.
Yeah, let me see.
I should check my email. I bought this YouTube account from a Russian person. Okay, it looks like none of my appeals have been denied yet, so it should hopefully get unblocked tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, 11:18 a.m. So tomorrow by like noon should be back up. That's right. I'm getting a bunch of spam comments on my. Wait a minute. Hold on. Fuck. This is very bizarre.
Wait a sec. I gotta change my thing. I'm public now, but I'm just kind of setting it up, letting people know that the boys are back in town. I'm back here. I'm back doing stuff.
Yeah, my stream archive was blocked worldwide, which I'm appealing, but yet somehow I'm having spam bot comments that are coming on the fucking video when it's blocked worldwide. How the fuck does that work?
I don't know. I don't understand any of that streaming stuff. Let me see here. Privacy, public. Alright. Let me do this. Let me put it on Twitter. Streaming. Right now. And let me post it in my Discord here. At everyone streaming again. Wait, edit message. Okay. All right. Hey guys, here Eggy. You want to say hey to the 3 people that are currently watching?
What is up, fellow Kino-cornians? I hope you guys are having a good Sunday night.
Yeah, we just recorded a Kino is a Kino. Lots of schizo posting, lots of red pills being dropped. So you guys can look forward to that. It's going to be very fun. Very fun is a Kino. What's your thoughts on Uncle Boon Me? I haven't seen that yet. I heard it's good, but I haven't seen that yet. For as many films as I've seen, there's a lot of films I haven't seen. There's 500,000 films. What it do, Kino Crew?
There's a lot of movies.
There's a lot of movies out there. A lot of movies, so little time, you know? Especially for a working man like myself, a man that's got 2-3 jobs, you know what I mean? I got to make those Gamer from Mars videos. You know how it is.
That's right. Yeah. Man be staying on the grind all the time.
Yeah, and sometimes watching movies just doesn't fit in with the Sigma grind set. Honestly, sometimes Sigma grind set just doesn't do it. I can't watch films while I'm working on videos, you know. And I typically don't like to watch movies when I'm like deep into a video, because then it'll make me think of something else and it'll distract me and do stuff that I don't like. I don't know.
That's right. You got to be able to have. You got to give the movies their full attention, like how I gave Clifford the Big Red Dog my full attention. So much so that I completely went insane. But
yeah, you had to take your normal pills after that.
Guys, help! My AIDS medication was late in the mail.
Now
I'm gonna die of AIDS.
Oh no! What's gonna happen to Izakino?
I don't know. I'm really worried about my health, and I hope you guys don't tell anybody that I have AIDS, because I would be very embarrassed if it was public. But my AIDS medication is late in the mail. What do I do? Who do I call?
Call Charlie Sheen. He's got to have some.
I don't think he's using his. I can just borrow it.
I looked into it. What you have to do is just take a lot of vitamin C. I think that helps.
Oh, that cures AIDS? Oh shit.
Yeah, vitamin.
I think it helps in any case.
Vitamin Cash.
Well, actually,
yeah.
Well, you could probably eat some of that horse medication I heard about on Joe Rogan podcast. I think that helps too.
Oh yeah, you guys see that?
Reactor said that worked.
Yeah, did you guys see that SNL skit about that today?
About AIDS?
No, where Pete Davidson was playing as Joe Rogan, and there was Big Bird, and Pete Davidson as Joe Rogan was trying to convince Big Bird to take horse medicine
Okay.
because Big Bird
Sounds
got
like
vaccinated.
Sakino.
It was
I think that you should have listened to Ro. I think you should listen to Ro Jogan, and I think you'd be a lot better off.
Ro Jogan.
Yeah,
is
Reactor
Kino.
seems to be doing okay.
Yeah,
Why
how
is
was
Tim
Reactor?
Pool trending on Twitter the last 2 days?
Because he's been, he's been spouting some, he's been kind of going beast
Dropping
mode,
some red pill bombs.
dropping some of those classic Tim Pool red pills. You know how it is, Tim Pool.
Yeah, it's like half of Twitter seems to think what he said is retarded, and the other half think he's spouting off the truth. And I'm like, what the fuck did he even say? That the police are gonna bash in my door and beat me to death? I don't think that's true.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Is that the police were gonna bash in your door and beat you to death? That's probably
Yeah,
gonna
why the
happen
fuck
to Eggy.
is he? Why is he screaming that?
That's
Is he
probably
trying
gonna
to make people afraid?
No, he's afraid because he lives with Reactor.
Well, yeah, I mean, you should be afraid of the police barging in that situation, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you see what his brother says. And I don't know what Reactor's up to. He's got a lot of plans. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve, I would say.
He's definitely the Eddie of the Ed, and Eddie group.
Yeah, if he was the Eddie, then who is Double D, and who's
Well,
Ed?
Who between me and Rusty, who's more neurotic and who's more retarded?
I would say, Rusty's more neurotic, which means you're more retarded.
So Rusty is Sockhead and I get to be Ed?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good deal for everyone.
Yeah, I think
Everybody
that
wins.
works. That's the trash rats.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right there. You have trash rats. Ed and Eddie was the proto trash rats. Yeah, on time. Hey guys, I'm gonna be streaming for longer than 8 minutes this time.
However, I must be on my way, so I'll catch you cool
Eggy's
cats
gonna be
later.
Eggy's gonna be streaming a little later tonight. He just told me might be, so you guys can go catch him later tonight.
And Frankenberry, Eggy's new channel is Big Yoke. Go subscribe now. He's going to be streaming tonight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be streaming again soon, if not tonight. But
Let me.
I'll
link his new channel in the chat here. Can you do that, Mumkey? I don't know if I give you chat perms.
I don't think I have.
I can make you
in
mod.
your chat.
Let me mod you. I know I'm gonna
That'll
mod
let
you,
me-
and then you're just gonna.
I can edit your description if I'm a mod.
That's right.
Is that true?
You're just gonna insert your own channel in every single video that.
Well, I mean, I'll add in Eggy's. I just don't think I can do that on my phone.
Yeah, here I'm gonna so you guys. Here's Eggy's new channel here. Gotta shill it. Gotta get back to that 10,000. What were you at before Susan broke your buck?
Well, I think I was at like 13.2K, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
somewhere in that range.
Gotta get you back up there. Gotta get those numbers back up.
That's
Nine
when Wheel
minutes.
of Cursed Meals 5 to really get his name back out there.
Yeah,
My channel
yeah.
back in 2016, I got up to like I think 4 or 5K on that one. Then it mysteriously disappeared, of course. Then I had my next channel after that got 13.2, mysteriously disappeared. So now, based on that line of growth, we got to get to 30K at least.
Yeah,
on this
By
round.
the end of the year.
You
Well,
gotta.
if I stream every single day and do something really outrageous, maybe I have to stay awake for 72 hours straight and play Minecraft for like 72 hours straight without sleep or something. I don't know. Figure it out, but I do have to go now. So
Stay awake for 72 hours straight and eat Play-Doh the whole time.
oh my lord, like honestly, real talk, I think I'd probably die. But
But
all right, I'm gonna head off. Take
you
care.
get 30,000 subscribers.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
All right. See ya, Eggy.
Peace.
So I guess Mumkey, this would be a good time to do sort of like what we're not going to talk about on Is It Kino? Other movies that we
Sure.
watched this year, if you just want to talk about them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what were some other, going all the way back, I think the first movie that we decided not to do an Is It Kino on was Space Jam 2. What were some other movies that we decided not to do an Is It Kino on? Was Space Jam 2. What were some other movies that we decided not to do an Is It Kino on? Was Space Jam 2. What were some other movies that we decided not to do an Is It Kino on? Was Space Jam 2.
Oh, did
Uh,
we not do an episode on that?
no, we didn't do an episode on that.
I thought we did.
Wait, did we or didn't we? I don't think we did. I thought we.
I I thought I did. Maybe
Wait,
we didn't.
wait. I'm gonna look this up because now this is like the Mandela effect. But like,
I
is
thought
it
we did one.
is it Kino? Um, Let me go to Simeon. So this would have been in June, right?
I might have reviewed it on the Trash Rats with Rusty because I remember talking about it on a show.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a Kino. You did that with Florian. So it was after that. Buck Breaking, that was around the same time. I think we did Buck Breaking instead of Space Jam 2.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I know I talked about it somewhere though.
Yeah, I talked about it somewhere. We both did, but it wasn't on an Is It Kino. So yeah, it was
Oh, wow.
trash. It was bad. I don't really know. I don't really know what else to say about it other than it was just really bad, and it was just kind of
Yeah.
cringe. Another one was Dune. Um,
I have not finished watching that
oh
yet.
yeah, you haven't. That's why you haven't finished watching that. What was another one that we were gonna do? We're gonna record one on Last Night in Soho. Which, I mean, I thought that was just all right, but I'm making my Edgar Wright video. That's why I went out and watched it. But it's definitely not.
Would you say it's in the upper echelon or one of
No.
his weaker films?
I'd say it's one of his weaker films.
Oh,
Um,
I'd say it has some of his hotter actresses.
it does. It does. That definitely is true. It has probably the hottest actresses he's worked with. I mean, Anya
Yeah, that's pretty
Taylor-Joy.
fair.
Yeah. So, I mean,
And the old lady
the old lady. Yeah.
who
Oh, man.
passed away before the film came out, unfortunately. I think she died of COVID.
Yeah, she did die. She was pretty like I mean, she was old, but she did
Yeah.
die, and they dedicated the film to her. But you haven't
Well,
seen.
I'd
Yeah,
say as far as like a final film role, that's not a bad one to have.
yeah, she had an interesting character arc in
How
there.
often do like 80-year-old women get to play that kind of role?
Yeah, that's true. You know, and it looked like it was a fun role for her. It seemed like she had a lot
Yeah.
of fun doing that role, and it is obvious that she might have had some issues with mobility and things because most of the time she's kind of sitting down, but um, most of the time she's sitting down or barely walking or whatever. Um, but the way that she talks and her dialogue and stuff is really interesting in there. So I did like that. Um,
I
on
guess we should save the deeper dive
Yeah.
for the actual episode.
Yeah, we'll save the deeper dive for the actual episode. But I thought it was.
I
An
do want to
alright
do
film.
the French Dispatch. I don't know if that's playing here yet though, but I'll see it as soon as I can.
Yeah, I saw that a couple weeks ago, and then they said like, oh, it's playing everywhere, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go watch it again, and we can do a kino on it. And then it wasn't playing. It wasn't playing everywhere. It was still playing only in like, like it was still like a limited release. I'm pretty sure it's still a limited release. I don't know where it's
Probably.
playing. I saw it when I was in California because I was in a big city in California, and I haven't been able to find a showing of it within 100 miles of me here in Florida. So I'm not gonna drive more than like 40 minutes to a movie theater to see a movie I've already seen. It's like
Yeah,
um
it can't be that good. I just rewatch his other shit at that point.
yeah, I have all of his movies. I would say my favorite one might still be like Moonrise Kingdom or Rushmore. Those haven't really been topped for me. So
Do you have a good home theater set up, or are you doing some like cuck fucking bent over your laptop sitting in bed bullshit?
no, I have a good home theater setup. I have
Well,
a good
like, is it Kino for two or is it Kino for you?
well, it's Kino for me because
If you had like maybe a sexy monkey friend came to visit to watch every Wes Anderson movie, would we both be comfortable
Oh
in
yeah.
your theater setup?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That would be pure Kino action, or would we be
Yeah.
better off at my house with the
Why don't
big
you
flat screen, the
why don't you
sound bar?
why don't you come down next week? I'm gonna be house sitting next week.
I gotta help you babysit somebody's fucking plants now? I don't think so.
No, but we can do it. We can watch can watch everything. But no,
Yeah.
I like to buy my movies physical, and I watch them. I'm like a boomer in that way, I guess.
Yeah, I
But
think you said you wanted to make sure they could never take Moonrise Kingdom away from you no matter what. So you had to own it, a physical copy.
I have 2 physical
case
copies of it.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I have well, I mean, I bought the Blu-ray like when it came out, and then I got the Criterion version when that came out.
The fact that you became friends with the guy who was the kid in the movie, I think is a form of grooming, even if he is older than you now. I still find it disgusting. That movie is like some if you want to know what Hollywood's like, I think that movie gives you a good clue.
It's not the worst. Come on.
It's his biggest mistake.
Here's a movie for you. Here's a movie for you, Mumkey, is called Pretty Baby. Have you heard of that?
No.
So Pretty Baby stars is it Susan Sarandon? It's by Louis Malle. It came out in the 70s. Brooke Shields as a 12-year-old prostitute. Yeah, Susan Sarandon.
Like the actress was 12 in the movie?
Yeah, Brooke Shields. Let's see. So the movie came out in 1978. When was Brooke Shields?
Who produced that shit? Was it fucking Harvey Weinstein's fucking grandpa?
She was 13 when the movie came out, so she was 12 when they were shooting. Let's see who produced it. Let's see who produced it. If there's any big names here. And Jeffrey Epstein.
Harvey Weinstein Sr.
Yeah.
Yeah, did Epstein like pay to have the movie made?
Yeah. Produced by Louis Malle and Polly Platt. Louis Malle is a French director.
They were both arrested a year later.
Polly Platt also produced Say Anything. Fort Sheridan, Illinois, USA. She was a producer and production designer.
At least the kid in a Serbian film was too stupid to know what the movie was about.
Yeah, Brooke Shields knew exactly what that movie was about, and it caused a lot of uproar when the movie came out because people were saying,
yeah, you don't say.
Yeah, especially coming out in the 70s. It's like,
I mean, if it's showing child nudity in a sexual setting, I almost have to say that counts as child porn, right?
yeah, like that's the whole argument for the movie, is that it's essentially CP.
Yeah. If she's playing a prostitute.
And someone says, and Fazal says, "Oh yeah, she got nude in that one."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, is that you have the poster for that movie up on your wall? Is that why you brought it up?
No, I'm just, whenever I think about like what's like one of the most like fucked up movies as far as like treatment of kids and films goes, that's always almost like number one.
Yeah.
Because I can't even think of another movie that comes close to that, if I'm gonna be honest.
Clifford
the Big Red Dog, yeah. Man, yeah, that was a weird sort of tension between Emily Elizabeth and Clifford there.
Okay, I'm logging off. I'll see you.
All right, see you, Mumkey.
See you.
All right, guys, it's just us now. Yeah, it's just us now. Let's see. Wait, someone tagged me. Katie did an okay job. Yeah, the 70s were wild, and there was a lot of crazy stuff being made back then. No, Ansel Elgort was hot in Baby Driver. Hot as in I'm going to hell. Oh, not as I'm... Okay, I don't exactly know what you were saying with that. Anya Taylor-Joy is super hot. I agree with you, Fazal, 100%. Renzo says Dune was meh for me. Anyone else? Yeah, Dune, like, I generally liked it. I thought it was above average, especially for the kind of movie that it is. I didn't like that it ends halfway through the story. I didn't quite like that. Let me see. I'm constantly fighting. I'm trying to stay on one side, and I want to move over to the other side, and it cuts off half my face. Remember the Twilight Zone movie where the two kids died? Yeah, the Twilight Zone movie, that's something that I've, like, considered making a video on. But the thing is that there's already, like, a couple other videos on that same matter. So I don't want to do something that, like, several other people have done. But, yeah, the Twilight Zone with John Landis. And that was so just... that was so bad, like... so what happened was that he wanted the... explosion to be close to the helicopter while the helicopter is kind of low to the ground, and the guy was carrying these two kids right across this river, and the helicopter was over them, and they were blowing up a mortar close to close to that helicopter, and the concussive blast basically put the helicopter off hilter. And it went in and it decapitated the man and one of the kids, and then the helicopter fell on the other kid that it didn't decapitate, and that kid was crushed to death. So, of course, it led to a whole investigation. John Landis ended up being acquitted, as far as I believe. Yeah, he was acquitted. And he held a big acquittal party, which obviously was not a good look. But that also caused Steven Spielberg and a lot of other people to distance themselves from John Landis because he wasn't really showing much remorse. He wasn't really showing much remorse during the trial. And, Steven Spielberg distanced himself from that. And then... basically, like, he was kind of done for, right, he was done for in Hollywood, and Eddie Murphy brought him onto Coming to America, where John Landis supposedly acted like a tyrant, and essentially anyone who was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt at this point was pretty much... like no longer his friend. So he was able to sort of alienate everybody that he knew, everyone that he knew from these two movies. And of course his son is, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So, you look at Max Landis and all these sort of allegations of sexual misconduct, the fact that Max is just a weirdo. Max Landis would have a list of every woman that he had sex with basically how hot they were and how good the sex was. And after he would have sex with a woman, he would show them the list and show them how they ranked against all the other women that he had sex with. Lobster Magnets reviews. How does it feel to be the best Is It Kino co-host? It's fun. And it's fun. It's honestly, being the Is It Kino co-host is more of, like, Mumkey's a good friend of mine, and I like talking to him about movies, and it's a good excuse, too, for me just to go to the movie theater each week. It's a very chill thing. Kino, have you seen Ken Russell's 1971 The Devils? Love to hear your opinion on that. I have been seeking that out. I've been seeking out The Devils. I've been looking for it recently. I really want to watch it. Because I'm doing more of this shocking cinema type thing. So I have, like, going forward, I have 3 series that I'm going to be working on. And my main series I'm going to be focusing a lot on is going to be shocking cinema. And so some of the films I'm going to cover on that in, soon are going to be like Irreversible, Dogtooth, possibly The Holy Mountain. I might get that in there. Hopefully get that in there before the end of the year, but who knows. And then the other series I'm doing is Best Ever. So movies that are kind of taking hints from what like Emp Lemon. So like Best Ever, right? So Citizen Kane, Best Ever. And I just bought a box set of Hitchcock's films in 4K. So I might do something on Rear Window, Vertigo, something like that. Best Ever, kind of do a more sort of breaking down. I mean, I already talked about Hitchcock's Rope in a video. So talking about movies that are considered the greatest ever. I might also, in this series, talk about films like The Conformist, or movies that, like are considered like the best ever in whatever their genre classifications are. Just great films. And then the other series that I've got going is I'm going to start on Christmas with Hollywood Rebels. And that's going to be more kind of mini documentary style content about people rather than movies. And so the first subject of Hollywood Rebels is going to be Vincent Gallo. And then the second of the Hollywood Rebels is going to be my follow-up to my Citizen Kane video talking about Orson Welles post Citizen Kane, because I think that he had a very interesting career after Citizen Kane. A lot of people haven't seen his other films. I mean, if they have, it's usually relegated to just Touch of Evil. They might have seen The Third Man, even though he didn't direct it. But some of my favorite Orson Welles films are like I love F for Fake. I love Chimes at Midnight, and his Macbeth and Othello adaptations are fantastic. I mean, The Other Side of the Wind is super good as well. I really like his films post Citizen Kane. I'm a big Orson Welles fan. The 4K restoration of To Catch a Thief is horrible. Yeah, the one that I got was Vertigo, Rear Window, Psycho, and the Birds. I'm just assuming that those are going to be better restorations because they're more famous. Just watch Man Bites Dog. It's really good. Yeah, I love Man Bites Dog. I've seen it several times. It's one of those... It's a movie that has so many like good scenes in it. I mean, the humor is so dark, but it's still really funny. And I like that it's able to sort of meld this really sort of dark subject matter. And the scene where they kill the pregnant woman, that scene really kind of disturbs me. That's the one scene in the film that disturbs me. The other stuff I actually find really funny, because everything has humor to it. But that one scene, that's when it gets like really, really dark. And the fact that this film is able to make me laugh and also disturb me, I mean, shows that this film has a great sort of tonal, emotional range. Immortal Story was also great. Yeah, I have every Orson Welles film on Blu-ray, except for The Trial. I have a like MKV file of it. You can't find it on Blu-ray. Oh, thanks, Lobster. Yeah, I just watch a lot of movies. I saw Spencer last night. I really liked that. I also watched Repulsion, so I had a double feature of Spencer and Repulsion, which actually they go pretty well as double features. I've got to say, it was an unexpected good double feature. So I want to. So I'm releasing a small video tomorrow. I'm releasing a small video tomorrow about Edgar Wright, and this is essentially just to keep people knowing that like I'm alive, I'm still working on stuff. And it's about his first movie, A Fistful of Fingers, which no one talks about, and it's kind of forgotten, and it's really obscure. But I just want to remind people that, he started off making shitty student films, so yeah, I think that honestly, to me, that makes me feel good. But the next week, Thanksgiving, I'm going to be releasing a big video that, in a sense, is normie bait, I guess, Wait a sec. I gotta send a text. Yeah, which is kind of normie bait, but it's me ranking every single A24 film, not A24 film, every A24 horror film. Um, uh, how much pro experience do you have working in film? Is it mostly extra and PA work and refilms, or do you have any other stuff? Yeah, I did a lot of extra. Oh, I didn't do a lot of extra stuff. I did a little bit of extra stuff, but I did a lot of PA stuff, and I also worked in other departments. I worked in camera departments, art departments, stuff like that. I typically I would ask people not to credit me because I don't want to have like a whole bunch of below the line credits on my IMDb. Some people credited me, and even though I asked them not to, I only wanted stuff that was basically stuff that I directed because I didn't want to be sort of seen as somebody who worked in this other department, a department I didn't see a career in for me. Yeah. So, yeah, so, but no, I worked for about 5 years before going into YouTube. I was the assistant to Robert Rodriguez for a few months. And I was working at Troublemaker Studios, working on a show called, what was the show called? I don't know. It was about making a movie, like for $7,000 or something like that. And that kind of inspired me to make my own thing. So then I kind of set about making my own stuff and took out some loans and, you know, did a whole bunch of really stupid, made a whole lot of stupid financial decisions that I've since rectified. And I made my own movie. I probably learned more from making my own movie than I did from all my years. But I wouldn't have been able to make my movie without that like background, 5 years of experience in the industry, doing all sorts of things. You know, I kind of worked all around the set, so you know I kind of knew what to do. Kino, what's a good movie to watch with the parents tonight? Hey Slush, how's it going? Wait, Slush, let me make you mod. Are you not mod? Yeah, I'll add you as mod. A good movie to watch with the parents tonight. Have you seen Jackie? Are your parents like fans of, you know, American history? I'm just yeah, I'm actually behind on Succession. I'm still in season 1. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but I did like Succession. I have HBO Max, so I've seen a few of the episodes of Succession. I really like it, but I'm behind a little bit. What movie has shocked you the most? I don't know. Like a Serbian film came close, I would say. But you know, you want to know something? I think that I was more shocked by Martyrs than I was by a Serbian film. Just because Martyrs, it had a much more serious tone, and it was much more like, I don't know, it shocked me more than a Serbian film, because a Serbian film to me felt more like a black comedy than like a horror, whereas Martyrs was very serious, and so I was taking it very seriously, you know. So yeah, so I'd say Martyrs maybe, but this is just kind of off the top of my head. Begotten, I watched Begotten like 10 years ago. That was kind of shocking, you know. But the thing is that like I grew up on 4chan, where you see like cartel beheadings and stuff like that, you know. And when you see the real stuff, it kind of puts a lot of the movies that you see into perspective, because I know that they're not real, you know. So there's different sorts of shocks that I get. There's different kind of disturbing. Who's texted me now? Oh, Snapchat. No, I haven't seen that version of Jane Eyre, but I'll definitely check it out if Wells is in it. Did you help make shorts? As in, is there a movie called Shorts, or are you talking about like short films? I haven't seen it, but they're down with historical films. Yeah, Jackie's really good, and you know, you're not gonna get into any sort of awkward. There's no awkward scenes as far as I remember from it. So, I mean, this is coming from a. Oh yeah, Happiness. The thing is, I've stayed away from Happiness, that movie, because I do really bad with the kind of the cringe scenes. Like, the cringe scenes really sort of, they really, I'm like, oof, you know, I almost can't even handle it. Cringe is something that's really hard for me to handle. Like, to bring up maybe kind of a normie example is the Scott's Tots episode of The Office, which I don't know if I ever finished that episode. Are you interested in Latin American films? I've seen a few. I've seen a few Latin American films. Actually, the first Pablo Larraín film I saw was the movie No. I saw that in cinemas when that came out. That's Chilean. And then, of course, Alejandro Jodorowsky's Chilean. I like his movies. The Lighthouse is the greatest A24 film of all time. Hey, don't spoil my video, okay? All right, no spoilers. No spoilers in the chat. But I gotta say, The Lighthouse is a little bit better than Midsommar. As far as the A24 horror goes. Like, Midsommar didn't do anything for me. I thought it was okay, but, you know, it didn't really shock me that much. Yeah, some of the movies that are, like, meant to shock you, you know, they say, like, oh, this is, like, a shocking movie. They end up not doing anything for me because they try too hard. Like, look at a movie like The Green Elephant, that Russian movie from the 90s. You know, the Russian movie from the 90s. It's shocking, yeah. However, it's so dumb. I just thought it was so dumb that, you know, that none of the shocks landed with me. No, I was just working in Austin at a studio. I wasn't traveling around. I had other jobs. Like, basically, it's just film is just a gig economy, so it's kind of like you just kind of go round and round, like, doing random jobs. So I was going between Austin, Atlanta. No, I didn't work on shorts. Yeah, I was going between Austin, Atlanta, and LA, working on stuff. So, and as I said, I was kind of doing a whole bunch of different types of jobs. But I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, and it was actually, weirdly enough, it was so to go into a little Kino lore. I know some of you know, the OGs know this. But I basically just made a couple of videos, just as personal projects of mine, honestly just for fun. So I made my video on following and my video on Metropolitan, and it was really just because I was gearing up to make my film, and I thought, well, if I make like these little videos about how these guys made their first films, then I can learn from what, you know, they did, and I can learn from them, and I can use that knowledge for my own movie. So I made those two videos, and they got no views. They got 0 views. I wasn't expecting them to get views, I wasn't expecting them to get views or anything. And I completely forgot about my YouTube channel. And then I made my movie, and I finished editing it. And when I finished editing it, I had gotten so used to just like editing every day that I wanted to keep on editing. You know, I was like, I'm done with this. Now I'm bored. Like, now I don't know what to do with myself. So I said to myself, well, maybe I'll, yo, Hung, what's going on? Hung is a IRL friend of mine. We went to high school together. And so then I was like, well, maybe I'll, you know, let me check out my YouTube. And my following video had at that point gotten something like 4,000 views. and my Metropolitan video had like 1,000, 1 or 2,000, and I was like, oh, actually, maybe this is like a viable thing that I can do. So then I made my video on Kieślowski and the Decalogue videos. And the Decalogue videos were a way for me to sort of just like teach I wanted to like make a video a day, and I realized that wouldn't work with me, but I was able to almost do all the Decalogues. Like, I still haven't done Decalogue 10, and some people will still comment, "Where are you doing Decalogue 10?" And I'm like, I'm just gonna leave that as a carrot, right, to keep people, because now I'm afraid. Like, now it's been like 2 years, right? So now I'm afraid that like, like if I do Decalogue 10, these people are gonna leave. So I have to just say, yeah, Decalogue 10 is gonna happen at some point. It's gonna happen at some point. But I was having a lot of copyright issues because I didn't know the meta, and it was actually Reactor, Tim Pool's brother. Tim Pool's brother kind of sat me down at VidCon that year, and basically showed me how to evade all the copyright bots, and and ever since then I haven't really had any problems. Let me go back up because I was talking for a while. I love Green Room. Yeah, I love Green Room. And thoughts on Hereditary, you're going to have to watch my video. You're going to have to watch my video for Hereditary. Now, I am going to say I'm not including a ghost story in A24 horror, because even though it is spooky, it's about ghosts, it's not a horror film by any means. Although there are some other films that I am including in there that I don't really think are horror films, like Lamb and It Comes at Night, but they were marketed as horror films, so I'm kind of using that as a metric. But even A24 did not market a ghost story as a horror. Thoughts on the new Bond? I didn't really care for it. I saw it and I thought it was kind of dumb. His character is the first, like, you can so tell that there were some major rewrites in it. Some scenes feel like they're almost from like completely different movies. Than, yeah, it's like two different films. One where he's just a simp. And the whole ending of it was just so dumb. It was just so dumb. A lot of it was just like, they should have just ended Craig's Bond at Skyfall. Spectre and No Time to Die just feel like they're Spectre and No Time to Die just feel like it's just milking that cash cow. But I don't know how much money No Time to Die actually made, so maybe they lost money on it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Bela Tarr? I like Bela Tarr. I have a couple of his videos on Blu-ray. I think Damnation and Satan Tango I have on Blu-ray from Arbalos. Arbalos has been restoring a lot of Bela Tarr's older films, his films from the 90s. So I really hope that there's a good new restoration of Werkmeister Harmonies coming out. And yeah, I like Bela Tarr a lot. If Netflix threw $20 million at you to make whatever you want, what would you do? Well, I have a lot of scripts. I was a script writer, script doctor. That was another thing that I did. So I wrote a lot. I have a lot of scripts. I could definitely assign a script. Yeah, most of this stuff, I don't think that most movies need more than $20 million to be made. Honestly, I don't think most movies need more than like $5 million to be made. There's a lot of waste when you're getting up above 5 million, and a lot of people are just paying themselves a lot of money that they probably don't deserve. So, like, you don't need 100 people to work on a movie. You can have you can have 10 people, right? I mean, Kubrick kept it small, right? Kubrick kept it small. Why can't anyone else keep it small? So, yeah, $20 million. What I would do if they gave me $20 million, I'd make 4 movies with $5 million budgets each. And the thought being, right, that if one movie doesn't do well, I'm betting on 4 films to make up that 20 million. It's kind of the Blumhouse method, I suppose, is, more films with a lower budget, but one of those movies can make you 100 million and the others could, lose money, but you still are in the black. So that's what I would do. I would make 4 films. I have a lot of scripts. I could easily. I write sort of noirish, sort of Lynchian kind of stuff. That's kind of my style of writing. So I'm actually going to take January off from making videos to write. If you guys have been listening to Izakino, I pitched Mumkey a movie idea. And I've been talking around to some other people. I was talking about it with Glink a lot because, you know, he's kind of into that kind of stuff. So the movie idea, and I'll pitch it to you guys, is I got inspired. I was watching The White Ribbon. Great movie, by the way. I love Haneke. I was corrected because I was saying Hanukkah like it's pronouncing it like it was a Jewish holiday, but it's Haneke, I guess. It's a movie basically about this small town, and it could be small town Florida. You know, I'm sure if it's small town Florida, A24 will pick it up because they seem to like these like beach stories. You know, I'll shoot in Sarasota just like Spring Breakers, but in a small town that's kind of its own society, you know, it's sort of cut off from the rest of like initially I was thinking, you know, maybe somewhere up in the mountains in Colorado, right, something like that, but it could be in Florida. Oh, thanks, Seymour. See ya. And but anyways, I mean that's not important. It's a small town. It all takes place within this small town. We pretend like this federal government doesn't exist, right? I mean, libertarian utopia, right? And everyone in this town, there's something that's wrong in this town, right? Everyone has some sort of like degenerative brain disease. Or if they don't take this special medicine each day, their brains sort of turn to mush, right? So their brains are all sort of turning to mush, like it's like they all have, you know, dementia or Huntington's disease or something like that. But they have this pill that they take each day, and it's like the milkman coming around giving them milk, but instead of giving them milk, you know, he's giving them their daily medicine to kind of keep them alive. And how like, so how they punish people is by taking them off the pills for, you know, certain amounts of time. So maybe petty crimes would be a few days, more major crimes maybe, you know, could be months. And essentially, you know, this, once your brain sort of disintegrates to a point, it's like you're not getting that back. So it's almost like, you know, how in Sharia law, you know, like if you steal something, you get your hand cut off. It's a physical thing that lasts with you for life, but there's no prison system, you know? And so I was thinking, well, what about having this like kind of weird like it's like a utopian society, and in this kind of strange utopian society, our main character is just this very kind of boring guy, just kind of a wage cuck, and he gets a message from, you know, he gets a letter from the pill man in the morning that he will no longer be getting his pill, and we don't know why. And so the film is him trying to sort of understand why, and goes through all these layers of bureaucracy. I mean, I very inspired by Kafka's The Trial, obviously. But the twist on this is that he's going insane. His brain is deforming, and so the movie gets more and more like psychedelic, you know, and crazier and weirder, and, you know, more sort of Lynchian or Jodorowskian, you could say, or, you know, he starts seeing things, he starts going paranoid, and he starts trying to steal other people's pills, and, you know, and it's all from his perspective, so it's an unreliable narrator, and it all leads to him completely losing his mind and killing himself. That there's But it's going to happen in a Kino way. So just trust me on that. He's going to kill himself in a very Kino way. But the thing is that it's the idea of freedom, where he finds freedom. I don't know what it is. You know what? I pay for like really good internet here. I pay for really good internet here, and I swear what they're doing to me right now is they are what's the term? What's the term that I'm looking for? They're throttling my internet right now. I don't know why. I don't know why they're throttling me right now. I can stream here no problem any other day of the week. I don't know what it is on Sundays, but sorry guys if my internet's kind of AIDS. But yeah, which script would you do? Also, how old are you? You look young, but I'm 27, so I'm probably a little bit older than you think. If I was given $20 million though, and say start a film in a month or 2 months, I would do my script called A Town Called Nowhere, which is, to describe it, is somewhere between Cormac McCarthy and David Lynch. And it's like a film noir based on the Orpheus myth. What's pure Kino? I don't know what pure Kino is. Is that another YouTube channel? Yeah, I don't know who pure Kino is. I don't know any other. I don't really watch much like film YouTube. I watch a lot of gaming stuff because I don't have enough time to game myself, so I just like would rather I'd rather watch people play a game or talk about, a game or something like that, because I don't have time to play video games anymore. I played 30 minutes of that new Grand Theft Auto San Andreas last night, and just to see, because I got it for free, just to see if it looked as bad as I saw images of. And yeah, Ryder's arms are like that in the game. It was pretty ridiculous. I'm glad that I have the original copies of those games, so I know that they pulled the original copies from Steam because they want people to play the new versions that look like ass. Ugh, guys, I am mad at my ISP right now because, yeah, this sucks. But whatever. I'm probably going to do this for another 10 minutes and then head on out. I just wanted to talk to you guys tonight for a little bit. Yeah, after Izakino, I was here, I was all set up, and obviously my internet is just not being nice to me. Would it be POV like Enter the Void? No, it wouldn't be POV like Enter the Void. Although there could be some good POV moments. I'd probably take a lot of inspiration from Gaspar Noé. I'm a big Gaspar Noé fan, so expect a video on Irreversible pretty soon. Spoiler alert. Oh my gosh, Eggy. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Damn, Kino ended the stream so fast. Yeah, I know. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer final questions before I go. The gang stalkers are squeezing the cord. That's true. No, I can't do Ethernet where I am, because the place where my where the thing is, where the router is in a place that's being renovated and doesn't have any lights in it. So if I was in there, it'd be completely black. So that's yeah, it's not good. Club 27, what's good, y'all? Oh yeah, I guess I should also talk. So I met Toby Turner, Tobuscus, a couple weeks ago. We've been talking. I don't know, maybe he'll show up in a Kino Corner video at some point. Turns out he lives right next to me, so maybe. Thoughts on Enemy by Denis Villeneuve. You will have to wait for my A24 horror film, because that is an A24 horror film. So you'll have to wait for my video next on Thanksgiving, or day after, or Black Friday. Maybe I'll release it as Black Friday, because no one's going to be watching videos on Thanksgiving, so I'll release it on Black Friday. I will talk about Enemy by Denis Villeneuve in there. What I will say beforehand is that I have to rewatch it. I saw Enemy in the theater, so that was like 8 years ago. Yeah, that was like 8 years ago. So I have to rewatch it. I bought it on Blu-ray, so I have it there for the rewatch pile. Just like Hereditary and The Witch and a few of those others. I had to go through and watch a whole bunch of these like weird, obscure A24 horror movies I never heard of before, like False Positive, The Hole in the Ground, a few of these, The Monster. So I watched all those. And there's a reason why they're obscure, by the way. Big Brain Kino question. What Batmobile is the coolest? What Batmobile is the coolest is definitely the Arkham games, because I get to drive them. I get to live out my fantasy. Okay, let's see. What do you think of BreadTube? I don't watch BreadTube, so what I've seen of BreadTube is that they make really long videos about stuff that doesn't really need to be that long, and I don't know, comes across as like I'm in college and I just took my first philosophy class kind of vibe, and I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna dress up in some weird costume and sit in this nice place and then talk about this thing for an hour. If you're like Lindsay Ellis, it's like an hour and a half or whatever responding to one tweet or something like that. It is. I don't have that kind of time. I'm not gonna watch that kind of stuff. I read books, like I like reading. Right here, I have some Camus right here. I don't leave my see this. Wait a sec. Can I see? Nietzsche here, The Joyous Science, also known as the Gay Science. It's good stuff. I like Nietzsche. Camus was interesting. Sartre is interesting as well. A lot of, I like the existentialists. I like Kierkegaard. But I'd much rather read a philosophy book than watch a BreadTube video. Yeah, that's pretty much my stance on that. I also have Plato's The Republic there. That's always good to carry around. That's a pretty easy book to read. It's a very entertaining book. The Republic is. What's your job nowadays? I do some wage cuck stuff. But I do a whole lot of things. I'm trying to get more back into the film gigs. That's kind of slowly but steadily. There's more films being made. So maybe I'll be back working in film soon enough. Hopefully the next time I'm back working in film, it's when I'm making one of my own. I'm kind of holding off on doing crew jobs at this point. Is Spring Breakers a horror film? You could definitely classify it as a horror film. I'm not classifying it. I'm not classifying it as a horror film for my video because it wasn't marketed as one, and since it wasn't marketed as one, and it's very like you could say it is, but you could obviously say it's not. It's too iffy for me. As I said, I'm only including It Comes at Night and Lamb because they were outright marketed as horror, and I want to talk about maybe how you could see it and the problems with marketing these films as horror. I hated Lamb, by the way. Lamb is like near the bottom of the list. Bought any new Criterion Blu-rays? Yeah, I did. I bought The Damned, and I bought Breaking the Waves. So those were the two that I bought, and then I pre-ordered Uncut Gems and Citizen Kane, their 4K versions. No, I did not watch Taylor Swift's All Too Well short film. I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. Do you know any video games? Do you know any video game stories that would have been better as a movie? It's difficult. I don't really care for most video game stories. I think most video game stories kind of suck. Maybe Metal Gear Solid would be better, but the thing is, Metal Gear Solid would be better, I think, as an anime. It's so out there. I think as a movie, like, people are like, it's like a movie, but the thing is that if it was a movie, I think that you'd have people like Mahler or whatever, like, picking apart, CinemaSins picking it apart, 4-hour-long videos, whole series. I mean, it's a crazy story. Oh, hey there, Dojangles. I just saw Enemy, and I must say it's quite interesting no matter what way you read it. Yeah, I remember thinking it was a very interesting movie, but I don't know how much I liked it. I remember watching it and thinking it was all right. It's definitely not my favorite Denis Villeneuve film. I would say my favorite Denis Villeneuve film is either Sicario or Prisoners. Still, yeah. Prisoners, I think, is very underrated as far as his filmography goes. Considering that after that, he went on to be like making like these much bigger budget movies. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, going back to video game stories, maybe Deus Ex, but I mean we have Blade Runner. I would like to see more cyberpunk, like serious cyberpunk movies like Blade Runner though. So, I mean that's why I'm saying Deus Ex, because I like the aesthetics of cyberpunk, and the fact that it's film noir in a sort of futuristic setting, I really like. So yeah, I would just say that. But I still love Deus Ex as a game. So yeah, that's Kin Files represents. All right, guys, I'm gonna be heading out. Let me see if I missed anything. It's been fun. Patrons, look out for a new video tomorrow, and then I guess I'll be releasing my video on Tuesday. The Gangstalker, yeah. Hey, do you have any relation to Pierre Kino? If anyone can tell me who Pierre Kino is, actually, let me go look this up. Is that a channel? I'm gonna look this up. That is a channel. Defense of AJ, Game of Thrones. They talk about TV. Yeah, this is definitely not me because I don't really watch TV. Game of Thrones 7 things the show did better. I also just wouldn't make videos like this. I mean, I guess maybe they're good videos, but is American Psycho better than the book? I don't even think that that's a question. I mean, they're different. They're going after different aims, but I don't think that's a very interesting way to approach it. Did Rhiannon kill Tony? He really likes The Sopranos. It's a good show, but no, that's definitely not me. Definitely no relation. Can Can we expect a Falling Down review at any point? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the last thing I was going to talk about. If you go back into my filmography, so that was I got sidetracked, but that's my fourth. So okay, so my different series that I have going on, right, is Shocking Cinema, Hollywood Rebels, which I'm going to start next month. Hollywood Rebels, and then Best Ever, and then it's going to be a series called Literally Me, movies where the main character is quite literally me. So I already kind of post hoc added some of my own videos to it already. So the Joker video, of course, the Drive video, and another video. I think my Spree video. Those are all Literally Me in the Literally Me series, and so the next two Literally Me movies I want to cover, or the next three, is going to be American Psycho, Falling Down, and Falling Down, American Psycho, and Taxi Driver. And I want to do some like special stuff with them. So I might be doing Falling Down next in that when I do that series. And I gotta kind of think to myself like I gotta kind of think to myself of like how I want to do this. You know, am I gonna be going like a Shocking Cinema and then a Shocking Cinema and then a Literally Me and then a Hollywood Rebel or something like that? Or I don't know. Like I tend to really just like pick up a film idea or a video idea off the cuff. I have a whole lot sort of on a list, and I just sort of make them as I feel like it at that moment. I got kind of messed up in the last couple months because I've been doing a lot of commissions. So I got put behind a lot, and it caused a lot of problems. Like I wanted to do an American Psycho video. I'm still planning on doing the American Psycho video, but I need to get my Vincent Gallo video out. That's going to be after this A24 thing. I'm going to be working on the Vincent Gallo video because that's been in the making for a long time, but I do want to get the American Psycho one out around Christmas time as well. Pure Kino is a channel that does Sopranos recaps. Yeah, not my kind of videos. Who's the better filmmaker, Tarantino or PTA? PTA. Easily. PTA. Blade Runner 2049 is not as tight. Yeah, that's one of my big issues with Blade Runner 49 is it feels like there's too much fat. There's too much fluff in that movie. A lot of it could be cut out. A lot of it seemed like it didn't need to be in there. The whole sort of angle of like, this is the Resistance. You're now in the Resistance. I'm like, that's dumb. You know, the whole like throwback fan service with Harrison Ford shouldn't have been there. And then Jared Leto's bad guy, I thought was kind of one note. I didn't think he was that interesting as bad guy. But there's a lot of stuff in the movie I did like. A lot of the movie I really enjoyed. But there was enough in it that made me also acknowledge that it's not as good as the first film. Well, the final cut of the first film, the 7th cut or the 20th cut, right? Ridley Scott got it right at some point. So yeah, and you can definitely tell that the Denis Villeneuve made both Dune and Blade Runner 2049. Taxi Driver, I love Taxi Driver, but I kind of want to go to a city and like I want to for that video I want to get like a yellow car and actually film myself driving a yellow car around a city. I'll have to look into it and like rent a car out for that and do something sort of like that. I want to do something very special for my Taxi Driver. Would The Place Beyond the Pines be Literally Me? I would say yeah. but Gosling's only in it for about 30 minutes. So he, because anyone who doesn't know about The Place Beyond the Pines, essentially each act is almost like a different story. So, I mean, it follows different sort of generations or whatever, but each act has a different protagonist. So, yeah, so maybe for that first 30 minutes. No, I'm not going to, and this will be my last question here, and then I'm going to have to head out. I'm not going to cover I Stand Alone. I'll talk about I Stand Alone when I do my video on Irreversible. And, oh yeah, to say a Serbian film video, we are working on that. A Serbian film video will happen. Yeah, I forgot that. We're working on that. We have the structure and everything set up. I'm probably going to be releasing a lot of videos come December because I've been working on the pre-production of a lot of videos. And now I'm kind of going more into the production side of things. And I'm going to have some more time on my hands as well. So that is coming out. Serbian film probably my next Shocking Cinema. It's probably going to be about a 10-minute long video. The Serbian film is a very interesting movie to talk about everything surrounding the movie because the actual movie is pretty blunt. I think that if you watch the film, you get the point. I mean, I still think it's an interesting film, and I think it's a pretty entertaining film. But, it is pretty... It doesn't leave a lot to the imagination. I Stand Alone, though, I'm going to talk about that when I talk about Irreversible. I don't think that I Stand Alone is Gaspar Noé's best. I think it's a good film, but it's definitely not as impactful as Irreversible. Considering he came out with Irreversible right after, Irreversible is just on a whole other level, I think, than I Stand Alone. Even though I Stand Alone did some very interesting things, Irreversible blows out of the water. So I'll only talk about I Stand Alone in connection to Irreversible, which I really enjoy. I really like Irreversible a lot. And I've been thinking of different ways to do my video on that, like having the title all backwards. Or doing some, like, I can't give a video essay backwards. Like, no one's gonna... I'm trying to do something, right? That, like, where I can sort of imitate the film in some way. Maybe me going about things and showing them in a backwards sort of fashion. Maybe I'll get raped. Maybe I'll just... Oh, and hey, Nauticus, I don't think I said hey yet. But yeah, so I'm trying to find a hook for Irreversible. I'm definitely going to talk about it because I really enjoy that film. I really like Noé, and I'll probably also I just bought Blu-rays of Hard to Be a God, Dogtooth, and The Holy Mountain. So within the next year, maybe expect those in the Shocking Cinema. And also maybe expect more Noé. Be Climax or something. Or Haneke, Funny Games. Or The Piano Teacher. Might be talking about those at some point. I have to do some